right, well, happy Saturday, Central Georgia, and enjoying your holiday weekend. I hope so, because it is off to what seems to be a really good start. And luckily, Saturday, which is what I'm going to focus on for a lot of this stream, is going to have great weather. We're going to be really talking about a dry day today, so outdoor plans today are going to be looking really good. Unfortunately, and the part that I don't want to talk about quite as much, is the rain chances that are going to start to come into the forecast starting tonight, and then we're going to do kind of a stair step in terms of the rain chances for the next couple of days. So we're going to talk more about that and what you can expect, as well as the fact that we are in a Storm Prediction Center outlook for all days on Memorial Day weekend, and I'm going to break down what you need to know about that. So that's kind of what we're going to go over in this stream, but like I said, I really want to start with the positives and talk about things that are really good right now. So let's start with what we always start with, which is the sky cams across our area, which do a great job of reflecting the positive news that I really want to focus on right now. Clear as can possibly be in downtown Dublin right now, and the clear skies are not really going anywhere. We may introduce a few more clouds through the afternoon, but this is a trend you're going to notice as we flip across all the sky cams here. A little bit of a light breeze out there, but not much else to note other than that. The exact same story in Warner Robins, clear blue skies, not even any clouds in the picture there right now. And if you could guess, a similar story in downtown Macon as well. Maybe just a couple high clouds out there. And again, you may notice a cloud or two kind of creeping in throughout the day today, but we're not really talking about rain chances for this afternoon. And the final spot is the fairgrounds at Perry right now. There is a few people out there. I'm actually not sure what's going on at the fairgrounds today, but certainly a few people getting out to enjoy something that they're doing right under the clock tower there, and they've got great weather to do whatever it is that's going on at the fairgrounds. So let's talk about your forecast. We'll get into it. Again, we're going to start with currents, so I'm going to stay with the positive news for right now, and we're going to take a look at the temperatures first, because it does kind of a good job of telling the story that I'm about to dive a little bit deeper into here. So something that you may notice just upon first glance by looking at temperatures kind of across the south here is there's a pretty distinct line right across the deep south here, and it's cutting the temperatures in half here. You see a lighter green color, so cooler temperatures further towards the north here, and then that orange color where we're talking already about 80s only at 11 a.m. this morning further towards the south. Right here across central Georgia is kind of where that split is happening, and it's not a big coincidence, and it has something to do with what's going to be driving our rain as well. You can see it even better when we zoom into just our state alone. So up towards North Georgia, Blairsville, Rome, those areas are still hanging on to the mid 60s. So a different story than what's going on even here in Macon. We're finding the upper 70s, but down in our southern counties close to Albany, areas like Vidalia have already found the low 80s. So the reason here is because we have a stationary frontal boundary. It's hanging out just across our area of central Georgia. So right where you saw that line of yellow splitting the green from the orange, that's where this frontal boundary is sitting here. It's causing a bit of a temperature spread across our area, and then it's also going to provide some of the fuel for some showers and a couple of storms over the next couple of days. But when we look at the satellite radar, aside from our actual boundary, you can see there is some activity going on further towards our west. And I promise you I'm going to talk a little bit more about that coming up in just a second. But we're still hanging out with the temperatures right now. So taking a closer look at our central Georgia area at the moment, the warmest spot is in Crisp County. Cordele right now seeing 82 degrees, but the southern counties, again, already finding the low 80s here. Further towards the north, it's a little bit of a different story. So we're still hanging on to the mid 70s up in our northern counties towards Hancock, Putnam, and Jasper, and then somewhere in the middle here in counties like Bibb County, we are finding the upper 70s towards Macon, towards Warner Robins, and areas like that. Now, one thing that we've had a lot for the last few days that's down just a touch is the humidity. So it's actually a similar story, and it's got more to do with that frontal boundary. You can see the color gradient here, drier towards the north and a little bit more moisture down towards the south. But the biggest takeaway from this map is really the fact that there is no dark green on the map anywhere. So we've been teetering between this not bad and muggy category for a few days now. I'm sure you've noticed we've had a lot of moisture in the forecast for the past couple of days. It's felt like true summer air outside. What we have right now is actually teetering between dry and not bad. So it's actually not so bad out there. You can notice the air just a little bit, but it's maybe not quite as oppressive as the past couple of days, which means means the feels like numbers are not being impacted too much. If you can recall just a few seconds ago, we were talking about low 80s in the south, feels like low 80s in our southern counties, and feels like the low 70s in our northern counties, which is true to what the actual number is. So not too bad in terms of how things feel outside. It'll be a warm day, but it won't be too humid. And the winds, we've got kind of a steady light breeze outside coming from the northeast. So kind of a dry air kind of filtering in, and you can almost see how these winds kind of go along that boundary there. You can see maybe where it's kind of lining up with where that stationary boundary would be. So not a ton of breeze today, but you'll notice maybe a light, little steady breeze out there. It's going to be just generally a really nice day for Saturday. The biggest takeaway for Saturday is this main headline here. It's mainly dry all day long. Saturday is going to be a good day to take advantage of outdoor plans. Boating, getting outside and firing up the grill, going to the pool, things like that are great for today. This is the day to do it if you're kind of still debating what you wanted to do with your holiday weekend. This part I do kind of want you to pay attention to, just because we are going to start to introduce a little bit of a storm chance in the overnight hours tonight, and then that kind of sets the stage for our increasing rain chances for Saturday and for Sunday. Of course, I'm going to talk more details on that, but the high temperature is something that won't feel unfamiliar to you. We've been seeing the upper 80s for the past couple of days. We'll find the upper 80s once again this afternoon. So the rain chances. You can see what we talked about earlier. There is a big swath of rain out towards the west, mainly over Arkansas and now creeping into parts of Tennessee, Mississippi, and Alabama. It is not moving much. It's really sitting quite still. So even though it kind of looks like it might be creeping towards us here in Georgia, you'll notice as it tries to do that, it almost just refires up over the same area that it was almost leaving. Within this line, there are a few severe thunderstorm warnings. There have been moments of these throughout the morning this morning, but I do also want you to know this is where a level 2 out of 5 risk exists for severe weather. So in a minute I'm going to show you it does extend to a level 1 in our area, but that's going to be kind of a downtick from what you're seeing right now. Quick grab to North Georgia here to kind of show you what's creeping across state lines over from parts of Tennessee and Alabama. Again, falling apart as it tries to move into this area. And although the overall takeaway is that it seems like it might be approaching central Georgia here soon, it's really not. This will start to make its way towards us, and we are talking about rain chances for late night tonight, but nothing for the rest of the day today. In fact, our satellite and radar couldn't be quieter. Again, there wasn't even many clouds when we just took a look at the Skycam, and when we flip over to the future view, you're going to see that that's pretty much the story for the rest of the day today. Regardless of that, we are in a level 1 of 5 risk for a couple of gustier storms for later tonight. Remember, clear day. Tonight is when those rain chances start to increase. So when we start to see those showers and storms make their way into our area, we are going to be watching for a couple of storms that just honestly could get a little gusty, similar to what we've seen for the past few weeks, and a couple of storms that could be hail producers as well. Now, this is really not much of a different story than what we were talking about last weekend. We're just going to be watching showers and storms in our area for areas that may be a little gusty and may produce some hail as well. Now, as we start talking about Sunday, this risk is going to be more of a daytime thing. So it's overnight tonight, and then as we head into Sunday afternoon, that's when we're going to be still watching for the same things. This is still a level 1 out of 5. We're not even creeping into the level 2 yet. We're really just watching for a couple of storms that could get strong to severe. So watching some of these storms to see if they creep over into the severe thunderstorm criteria. Nothing out of the normal, just kind of your run-of-the-mill severe thunderstorms that we typically see in our area. Now, unfortunately, this also carries us over into Monday. I want you to think of Memorial Day weekend as kind of a stepping ladder in terms of the rain chances. So today, almost 0 until we hit the overnight. Sunday, they start to increase just a little bit. Monday, I think, is when the coverage is going to be the best. So I don't think any of these days are a complete and total washout. I think Sunday starts to be a little bit more touch and go. You may be ducking and dodging a couple showers and storms. Monday, even more touch and go. We're talking more about kind of steady on and off rain as opposed to maybe just a brief shower here and there. So for all 3 of these days, we have this level 1 out of 5 risk that just covers our bases for, hey, throughout the day, if you do have a shower pop up over your area, maybe do a quick radar check, because we will be watching to make sure that some of these showers and storms don't turn strong to severe. So with all that being said, let's flip over to the future view and talk about the timing and what that really looks like over the next couple of days. Saturday, we'll focus on the good. Still a great day. It's going to be clear for the entire afternoon, and we really don't start introducing those rain chances until the late night on Saturday. Now, this is a brand new model run, so me and you are about to see this for the first time together. Earlier, it kind of already showed what's going on out in Alabama in our area, and this is about 11 p.m. tonight, so actually maybe even trending just a little bit later into more of the early morning hours on Sunday. It really looks like it's going to impact North Georgia more than us here in Central Georgia. But what's going to happen is some of that could graze, especially our northern counties. So the way it looks right now is I think just doing a check-in with the forecast later this evening to see how the models are trending and to see what current satellite radar looks like. But generally, I think you could just see a couple of showers and storms in the overnight hours and the early morning hours for Sunday. So for churchgoers on Sunday morning, there may be a few sprinkles or maybe a couple of showers to start your morning off, but we really won't see much of the rain until the afternoon. So remember what we said, stepping ladder. So now we're on step number 2. This is going to be Sunday afternoon, and I think that there just could be more of those scattered showers. So this is why I say it's not a wash. You can still see plenty of clear skies on Sunday afternoon, but there will be more chances for some of those scattered showers and scattered thunderstorms as well. Now heading into Monday, the rain chances look to increase even more than that. So you may start Monday off clear, but by the time we hit the afternoon and that afternoon heat starts to bubble things up, I think that coverage of those scattered showers is going to look a little bit better. So more places will see a shower than not, as opposed to Sunday where it's more that hit or miss type of thing. So you can see that on the future view here too, kind of just better coverage of where these showers and storms are landing. Again, when you start to see some of these dark reds on the future view here, that's again while we're paying attention for the areas that could be strong to maybe severe as well. Don't get too nailed down on the specific location. This is that typical summertime bubbled up type of situation where the location could vary depending on what the satellite radar looks like that day. So that will be the rest of the day Monday, and then Monday night will be something that we need to watch as well. Excuse me, I had an itch there that I just could not shake. Monday night will be something we need to watch as well because as you just saw, and I may be able to just play it out one more time, I'm going to run through the whole thing one more time just to show you that Monday night we just got a new scan, so it kind of skipped over what I just wanted to talk about there. But it does look like there could be maybe another more organized line of showers and storms that tries to push through Monday night into Tuesday morning. So this is kind of why I say Monday is one of those days that just looks like it has better coverage. So there's Monday afternoon, Monday evening. What I'm talking about is what comes in over from Alabama. It looks like it may just try to hold together as it creeps into our area, so we may be on the lookout for a couple of stronger storms Monday night heading into Tuesday morning. I'll play that out and you can see what that looks like right there. So this is kind of at the end of the short range models. We'll keep our eye on that for now, but generally that kind of does a good job explaining what's going to be going on after Memorial Day weekend because we don't lose this pattern. It sticks with us. So we have these messy rain chances, honestly, for the next 7 days, and they're going to be better as we kind of creep into the work week here. So what you're going to see on the long range is just going to look like a bunch of paint splatters, and that is really just telling the story for the fact that moisture is going to stick with us for the work week, and the instability that we need to fire up some showers and maybe some storms as well is going to stick with us also. All the way through Friday, we're still sitting under this messy pattern. We'll see about this. Man, we could use a weekend with no rain chances. I know it's really been touch and go for the past couple of weeks. It looks like on the current long range models that things try to move out of here by next weekend, but until then we're under a really messy pattern. And again, that is at the very end of these long range models. You know how this thing goes. That can vary a whole lot by the time we actually get to it. So in terms of rain chances, that's what you can expect. It's going to be a messy pattern for the next couple of days with increasing chances throughout the weekend. So today's going to be your best day. Sunday, I still think is going to be a good day. Not a washout by any means, but you may need to duck and dodge a shower from time to time. That's going to be that hit or miss thing where you're probably going to miss more of the rain than actually see it. Monday, I think more places are going to end up seeing a shower and maybe a storm. With all of these, if you happen to see some rain starting to come down, I think it'd be smart to just pull out your phone, check the radar, or check and see if we're going live for any reason, just to see if some of these showers end up turning into storms that could be strong or maybe even severe. So that's the rain story for Memorial Day weekend. What about the temperature story? Well, the good news is you're not going to be with the rain, you'll be rewarded a little bit with temperatures because we're going to climb our way up today into the upper 80s. We're going to stay away from 90 as we head into the overnight hours, dropping back down into the 60s. So not too cool in the overnights, but you may need a light jacket on your way out the door in the morning times. By Sunday, depending on how much rain we end up having, we'll see a similar story to today. The general idea is that the rain chances are going to keep our temperatures somewhat at bay, probably away from the 90s, but we'll still find our way into the upper 80s. Overnights will be the same thing that we've been dealing with, and then once again heading into Monday, probably seeing the upper 80s one more time. So temperatures really won't move much for the next couple of days. We'll stay right around average for this time of year, which would be 88 degrees. And then other than that, it's really going to be the rain that takes over the big story. Take a look at your 7-day here. The weekend is where we enter these rain chances here, and then they really just don't change much heading into the work week. So recapping everything I just said just one more time to drive that story home to you. It's that today's going to be a dry day, which is why I've gone ahead and thrown an evening rain chance on there, which has really become more of a late night and overnight rain chance the more model runs that have come in. So a great Saturday. I'm giving you the green flag on getting outside today, enjoying your Memorial Day weekend plans, getting out on the water, enjoying grilling, all of the things that you want to do for your holiday weekend. Do them today. Sunday, honestly, the way the models are trending now, looking like a great day. Also, you just may have to grab an umbrella on your way out the door or head inside for a moment of time if you catch a brief shower or a brief storm. So honestly, a good day Saturday and a good day Sunday too, just introducing a more of a slight rain chance. Monday, that's when things look to be just a little more widespread. So we're talking about a better chance at catching one of those scattered showers or thunderstorms. For all 3 days, you still need to be somewhat on the lookout for weather that could become severe. I'm really talking about severe thunderstorm warnings. We're really not talking about a tornado chance for this weekend, but we still want to be on the lookout for if there's any active warnings. Just doing a quick radar check before you head outside, especially because so many people are going to be enjoying outdoor plans this weekend. So that's the story through about Memorial Day. And then unfortunately, the rain chances kind of stick with us. The same story from Monday to about Friday. So more increased rain chances, scattered showers and thunderstorms. I wouldn't be surprised if the Storm Prediction Center ends up throwing us in a level 1 for a lot of these days. I think that really just covers the basis with the kind of setup we have in our atmosphere for the idea that a couple of storms that we have throughout the day could get strong to maybe even severe as well. So don't be too surprised if you end up seeing that in the later portion of the week also. What's not on the 7-day just yet is next Saturday. So we'll see if, goodness gracious, we can finally find a weekend that maybe just has some better chances in terms of rain. I know, though, that has been a struggle for us for the past couple of weekends, but still not a bad weekend this weekend. So we'll take what we can get with Saturday especially, and then also with the chance to still get outdoors and enjoy some plans Sunday and Monday, but just with a little bit more of a touch and go chance to be outdoors. So that is kind of a look at what we're expecting for the next few days. We're going to be watching the forecast all weekend long. As always, David Guerrero will be back here streaming at 6 and then back for 13 WMAZ News at 11. I'll be back tomorrow to touch base one more time. So I'll be back at 10 a.m. following the 13 WMAZ News morning show that ends at 9 a.m. I'll be back at 10 for another look at how things are looking. You know how these can go when we're in this late May, early June time period. The models can change a lot from day to day. So be sure to check back in with me again tomorrow to get the latest and to see if there's any differences in the Storm Prediction Center. And before I leave you, I do want to talk about something cool that probably will pop up right after you finish watching this. We now have a 24/7 radar, and then it also has the future view on there and the Storm Prediction Center outlooks, as well as some other current conditions, I believe temperatures and the feels like numbers on a loop, and you can access that on 13 WAZ Plus at any time. So if you're curious what's going on the radar, actually not only here but in other places of the country, you can use that to do that. If you're curious what the future view looks like and we're not on the air at the moment, you can access it through there as well. And then again, the Storm Prediction Center outlooks are on there also. So a really cool tool if you're just curious to kind of have a radar loop in the background or just something that you can check in on from time to time. That is running 24/7, so feel free to access that. And until then, hopefully that can keep you entertained until we're back here tonight and then back here again in the morning. So I hope you have a wonderful Saturday and a wonderful holiday weekend as well. Hopefully you can stay dry for most of it and enjoy your dry and great Saturday. Thanks for joining me.